watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 6, covering the entire DMV. Gunned down in a parking garage at a casino in Maryland. We're live near where shots rang out. The latest details from police.
Pain in her absence is unbearable.
And catching a killer, a family continues to mourn and search for justice after a 3-year-old was killed just last week. The latest developments. And Commonwealth compromise, where Virginia Republicans and Democrats met in the middle on taxing streaming services, giving teachers a pay raise, and how talks also include climate concerns and impacts to your wallet.
And there's rain coming into the metro as we currently speak. Will that last into Mother's Day? I'll have your complete forecast coming up here in minutes on DC News Now.
And a lingering question, northern lights tonight? Well, the chance for a colorful night sky is slim after cloud cover dashed our opportunities to see impacts from flares from the sun just last night. More on that in a moment. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6 this Saturday evening. I'm Ben Dennis. We begin at the district. Police say that 4 people were shot since lunchtime today at 2 separate scenes. The first call came in around 11:30 a.m. on Alabama Ave in Southeast. It's there police found 2 people inside of a vehicle. Man shot several times. A woman grazed by at least 1 bullet. Both sent to the hospital, conscious and breathing. Then around 1:30 p.m., police were called at Hayes Street in Southeast. 2 men found shot, conscious and breathing before going to the hospital. Both of those investigations are ongoing. In Maryland, Prince George's County Fire and EMS say that 2 kids, 1 adult, they are without a home tonight after this severe house fire in Laurel. Officials say it broke out on Montauk Drive around 2 p.m. Flames showing from the porch and parts of the roof, which did collapse. No reported injuries, thankfully. And new developments coming out of Prince George's County. A man shot dead inside of the MGM Casino parking lot early this morning at National Harbor. DC News Now reporter Christian Pena joins us live near that very garage. Christian, we understand locals are no doubt shocked by this news.
Details are still emerging, I should say. Residents are shocked knowing a deadly shooting occurred at a place they normally have fun. And as I mentioned earlier, details are still emerging. But this is what we can confirm so far. A man was shot and killed at the MGM National Harbor parking lot Saturday morning. According to PG County Police, authorities responded to the shooting shortly before 5 a.m. on the 100 block of MGM National Avenue. When police arrived to the scene, they found a dead man. The man has not been identified and neither has a suspect. It is unclear what the motive was. Locals tell DC News Now they are shocked and worried.
It's pretty sad, you know? It's shocking. I don't see stuff like this all the time, so it's not just another day for me, but it is a little bit more shocking than anything else.
Now, we did reach out to the MGM to further learn what may have happened this morning, but as of Saturday evening, we have not heard back. This is an active investigation, so if you have any details as to what may have happened, you are encouraged to call 911. For now, reporting out of the National Harbor, I'm Christian Pena, DC News Now.
Staying on top of that one, Christian, thank you. Staying in Prince George's County, several people are hurt after 4 cars crashed in Shady Grove. Check out these images. We're told it happened on Metro Access Road just after 3:30 this afternoon. Several people evaluated for non-life-threatening injuries. Some lanes blocked by emergency crews as they investigated that crash. And another night of demonstrations surrounding the campus of George Washington University. Just last night, pro-Palestinian student protesters met with school leadership to pressure them to cut financial ties with Israel. But just hours before that meeting, the school made it clear that would not happen. Students were unhappy. University leadership would not consider divesting or committing to any of their demands. Students also say that their conversation with GW administration should have happened sooner. The school made it clear it's not considering changes to endowment investment strategy with Israel. Students who brought their demands to the table say that there cannot be a conversation knowing that the school already made up its mind.
How can we engage in productive conversation when your engagement with our community is so limited that you fail to make the conversation accessible? we see through the irony.
For now, we want to see some form of commitment that the university does have a concern and care for the well-being and humanity of Palestinian students.
We will continue on our negotiations process in an effort to achieve that material change over the summer.
And students say that their next meeting with GW leaders, that's tentatively set for tomorrow. They also told us that they don't care how long it takes. They say that they will get the change they want and won't rest until that happens. Meantime, if you looked up earlier today in the district, you might have caught dozens of planes streaking across the sky above the National Mall, planes we don't normally see landing at Reagan National. This event celebrated 85 years of general aviation. The Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association marked the anniversary with a flyover in one of the country's most restricted airspaces. 60 historic planes flew from Frederick, then down the Potomac, up to the National Mall and toward the U.S. Capitol. Pretty cool sight indeed. Time is 6:05. Over to meteorologist Derek Bowen. Derek, perfect day to get that done, but as it appears on this camera right here, is this some rain that I'm seeing right now?
That's true, Ben. We are starting to see some rain move into the area as we currently speak. We had the clouds move in throughout the afternoon, and now the rain is coming into the northwest portion of D.C. as we currently speak. Mostly cloudy skies over at Reagan right now, 63 degrees. Those winds are out of the southeast, 10, 11 miles per hour. Sunset tonight is at 8:10. We do have those cloudy skies, so it doesn't look like we're going to see any of the northern lights as we head about this evening. But where we have seen rain, we have seen cooler temperatures back in Hagerstown, down towards Winchester, and even Woodstock, seeing temperatures into the low to mid 50s at this current rate. But looking here in the district, we're still nice and still below average for this time of year, but still 63 degrees, 66 down in Fredericksburg, 64 in Waldorf, a relatively pretty nice day, no rain until this late evening. We're looking at, of course, those clouds rolling on into the region, those showers coming in. Most of the heaviest shower activity is over the Blue Ridge Mountains right now. We'll eventually head into Frederick here within the next half hour or so, and eventually here in D.C. probably at the top of the next hour. So get ready for a little bit of rain as you head about your evening. How much rainfall are we expecting? Looks like some places could see up to 1/4 of an inch if you're lucky, but if you're not as lucky, you'll see at least hopefully 1/10 of an inch of precipitation. But everything right now is relatively quiet here in D.C. rain-wise, but that rain will be coming here over the next several hours.
All right, we're tracking it all, Derek. Thank you. Back to your local news. Just last night, a southeast D.C. community came together to remember the tragic killing of 3-year-old Taya Settles. 1 week ago, Taya was shot and killed inside of a car outside of Garfield Hills Apartments on Hartford Street. U.S. Park Police flew the little girl to the hospital. That's where she died. But during last night's vigil, representatives for Taya's family read a very emotional statement from her parents.
Taya was a bright light in our lives, filled with laughter, joy, and boundless energy. Her passing has left an irreplaceable void in our hearts that can never be filled. Taya was not just our daughter. She was a cherished sister, granddaughter, niece, cousin, and friend. Her life was cut short far too soon, and the pain in her absence is unbearable.
Heartbreaking indeed. If you know anything about that shooting, call police. There's a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest, much higher than normally. Stolen cars are on the rise in Prince William County. Locals say it's a huge problem, only getting worse in the Commonwealth. Our Northern Virginia reporter Max Marcella shows us a few reasons behind the uptick.
Not all car thefts are like this one, but the one that happened at Michigan Auto Group in Woodbridge last year is certainly not unique.
Broke into the dealership, broke into the office, stole the keys, went out there and stole 4 high-end cars.
Those were 4 cars, but hundreds have been taken in Prince William County in recent years. New crime data shows motor vehicle thefts, combined attempted and successful, increased by 55% from 2022 to 2023. The numbers are even higher so far in 2024.
As far as why this problem has gotten worse, police say there's a number of different explanations. The first is simply an increase in crimes of opportunity. The numbers of people who leave their keys in the car, whether they're pumping gas or delivering food or just trying to keep the heat or the air conditioning on. Then there's another problem, police say. There is that influence of social media, specifically on teenagers.
But at the end of the day, if they want to take the car, they'll take it.
A TikTok trend showing people how to start and steal a car is a major problem.
Seeing youth using them as joyriding.
Other times, police say the cars or parts are sold, but police warn stolen cars can lead to danger and sometimes a more violent crime. This is the scene last June when a man who stole a car allegedly used it in an attempt to run over an officer. The then 18-year-old suspect now facing an attempted aggravated murder charge. It's unclear how he stole the car.
We continue to kind of push education to vehicle owners, specifically about making sure that they keep their doors locked.
Police are working on the problem through that education and events giving out steering wheel locks. Ahmad Rahim tells us it falls on manufacturers too.
They hooked up a computer to the OBD port and they literally just drove away with the car in 2 minutes. A $60,000 car, so I mean, it's got to be the manufacturer. It can't be anybody else.
Reporting in Woodbridge, Max Marcella, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Max tonight. And after a tense back and forth, Virginia lawmakers have reached a compromise on the state budget, and it very well could impact your wallet. The budget includes a 3% pay raise for teachers and state employees for each of the next 2 years, and there are no new tax increases. That means there will not be a previously discussed sales tax on digital goods like your streaming services. It will also not include language requiring the Commonwealth to rejoin the regional greenhouse gas initiative. That's a win for some Republicans. Meantime, Democrats urge the governor to make decisions on measures still sitting on his desk.
The governor still has a skills games piece of legislation before him that he has not acted upon. And it's incumbent upon the governor to act upon that legislation. He has to make a decision on if he's going to veto it or he's going to pass the legislation. He has legislation before him.
Lawmakers return to Richmond on Monday to approve the compromise budget. It then, of course, goes to the governor for his signature. The University of Maryland School of Education is honoring educators for Teacher Appreciation Week. The school surprised 3 teachers with gifts and a $1,000 check. The teachers are Jamie Amaya from International High School, Pedro Gonzalez of Samuel Ogle Middle, and Alexis Cutler of Tyler Heights Elementary. Cutler, who was a Teacher of the Year candidate last year, calls it the best interruption ever.
Day to day gets tough and, you know, it's always different. But when things like this happen, it just reiterates the passion and how we can help students.
These teachers were all students at UMD School of Education. They hope to use the checks to get, yep, you guessed it, supplies for students. A lot of sacrifices in that profession indeed.